Yo, hey guys, it's Drewberry here, and today we're tackling the 3 drops for my card rating series. So if you haven't watched the previous couple of videos, the way this works is that I have taken every single card in that's a 3 cost, and I've broken it up into Pool 1, Pool 2, and Pool 3. Now, how I came to these ratings is 2 things. 1, my own personal experience, which doesn't hold a lot of weight. But 2, I went on to snapfan.com, where you can find a bunch of statistics on these cards, and in particular, I took the win rates for when that card is played. So I kind of made, let's say it was 50% win rate. Well, then it would be a 3-star card. And then based on my experiences, I would either add a star or remove a star. And that's how I came to these ratings, okay? So if you don't agree with something or you agree with it, just let me know in the comments. We can chat about it because I'm not going to go over every single card. So if your favorite doesn't get mentioned, just let me know. I'm going to update these somewhere down the line, especially when patches drop. I'm going to refer to these ratings. So we'll just keep evolving as we go, and I'm going to take your feedback in, okay? So let's get into it. We got Pool 1 here for the 3 drops. Okay, so a lot of powerful cards here. But also some duds. And some duds that I thought would be good when I first started playing that aren't really that great. Particularly Captain America and the Punisher. Surprising, right? If you just started this game, you probably are loving those cards because they just are so easy to use and get you a good enough power. Realistically, Captain America can be 7 power. And then you can maybe double that with Onslaught, and that seems really good. But he has one of the worst win rates of the 3 drops. I'm going to show you the stats later. A little graph in the top 5 and the top bottom 5, and he's in the bottom 5. So I don't know, Captain America maybe just not doing enough. And then you got the Punisher. The Punisher I thought would be really good. Oh, your opponent plays 4 cards there. Well, you can counter that by playing the Punisher, but you're not really stopping what they're doing, and you don't actually get that much power. You're really playing a 3/6 at best, unless you, again, with Onslaught you double it or something, but still not that great. And then you got like Morph and Groot. They're just not doing enough, unfortunately. Too much variance if you can land something good there. Yeah, not too much going on here. We do have Cosmo, Swordmaster, and Hulkbuster. Those are probably the best ones here. Cosmo is always, for the lifetime of Marvel Snap, will be a good card. He won't be bad. He won't be great. But he's going to be a good card. He's just one of those counters that's going to stick around forever. So you can't give him less than 3. I'm giving him 4 because I think he just straight up wins games when you deny somebody. Hulkbuster is really flexible because you get 4 power. You can buff something that maybe you want to bounce around or bounce back to your hand or something like that. But also because he doesn't take up a location. That's why I gave him 4 stars. His win rate lands about 3-star range, but I bumped him up to 4 because he's not taking up a spot on your locations. And then Swordmaster actually just got buffed recently, going to 3 instead of 4, and only lost 1 power for it. So I had to give him 4 stars. All right, let's move on to the Pool 2. So Nakia just got nerfed to the ground, so I'm giving her 1 star. Literally before this patch, she was a 5-star card. Now she's a 1-star card. Ouch. And maybe it's too early, maybe I'm jumping the gun, but I can't see how at most 5 power for 3 is good enough, when before she was like 10 or something like that for 3. So huge difference. Killmonger, amazing card. He just recently jumped into the Pool 2, used to be a Pool 3 card, but for whatever reason they gave it to everybody. Fantastic card, destroy all 1-cost cards. It's so good late game if you can hold on to it until like turn 5 and 6 and your opponent committed a lot of 1-drops. Destroy them all, or Sunspot, anything like that. Boom, Killmonger is your guy. Rhino, Storm, and Sabretooth are trash. I'm not even going to get into them except for Storm, because Storm is played a lot. And I think it's a really attractive option to try and shut down a location. The problem is you're telegraphing to your opponent that that's the location you want to try and lock in. So the next turn they can commit resources there, or you overcommit resources and they go elsewhere and win a different location. So I find more often than not, it's not going to work out. All right, let's move on. Oh, Vulture's a good one for move decks as well. I want to mention that. We got Pool 3. Pool 3 has a lot of strong cards for the 3 drops. I was surprised when I was going through this. It was hard to give bad ratings. You got guys like Venom, Black Cat, Moon Knight, Green Goblin, Mystique. These are all great cards. They have to get good ratings, especially Moon Knight. He's probably one of the best. Discarding one of your cards when you're probably running a discard deck and then discarding your opponent's, that's amazing. You could maybe completely ruin their strategy while developing yours. So he has to get 5 stars. Another one is Wave. She's a 5-star card. Easy. There's the Death Wave combination, that's probably the best deck in the game right now. Like, she's just always going to be way too good because she's going to drop the cost of 6 drops, and they're the most powerful cards in the game. Honestly, I think she should be nerfed somehow. I can't even believe that she's 3 drop. She should be at least like a 4 drop because she turns everything to 4. I don't know. Something like that. Outside of that, there's like Lockjaw. He makes his own deck, so he basically deserves 4 stars. Even though maybe there's a bit of variance to it, there's a Lockjaw deck, and it is good. I gave Cerebo 1 star. I just don't see how his effect is good enough. That you really need like the stars to align. Maybe if you can get a bunch of cards that copy each other, like Brood or something like that, then maybe he works out. But that's just a tricky one. That's a tricky one to get +2 power and get him going online, and he doesn't do anything himself. So at most you have to have 2 cards that have the same highest power to get 4 out of him, and then he's a 3/4. It just doesn't feel like enough. And then I gave Electro a weak rating because the playing only 1 card a turn can really hamper your play. If your opponent just takes advantage of that and floods over you, you're going to have a hard time. And if you don't play him early, you're not benefiting from that max energy benefit if you can't drop him on 3. So that is the pool 3 cards. If I missed one, oh, actually we got 4 more. What am I talking about? This pool is so big. There's so many 3 drops. I got more. I got another slide. And we got Patriot here. He's a 5-star card. He makes his entire... He's an archetype. He's not just a deck. He's literally the no effect archetype. And he's fantastic. He's such a good card. So he gets 5 stars. I'm giving Maximus 4 stars. I've actually had a lot of success with him personally. Giving your opponent cards doesn't usually matter. And then he's a 3/7. Remember we were talking about Captain America? On condition he becomes a 3/7. Maximus just is. He's a pretty good card. Debris is a fun card, but sometimes can screw you over. And then Kingpin, he was just recently changed, so I couldn't really evaluate him effectively, but I think his ability is pretty good, and his win rate wasn't too bad beforehand, so I gave him 3 stars. All right, so let's look at the stats here. So our top 5 are Patriot, Moon Knight, Mystique, Black Cat, and Polaris. I didn't talk about Polaris, but really she's good. She moves an opponent's 1 or 2 cost card, which isn't that bad. Actually might even ruin their location synergy. And she's a 5 power for 3. So pretty good card, and she has got a good win rate to show for it. Your bottom 5 are Rhino, Storm, Groot, Morph, Captain America. Ouch. That's a lot of early 3 drops. So really there's a lot of power in the 3 drop range in pool 3 later on in the game, which is kind of fascinating because you can play 2 3 drops on turn 6 and do big swings that way. Very interesting. That is my 3 drop card ratings video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bring it on. I'm ready for it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.